Long Island is blessed with what they call a natural set of wild oysters. In different parts of Long Island Sound, along the north shore of Long Island, there has been a resurgence of a wild population of very high quality oysters. There are 6 or 8 baymen that are out there on a regular basis collecting those oysters from 15 to 20 to 30 feet of water by scuba diving. It's very hard work, it's dangerous, it's dirty work. You're underwater 6, 7, 8 hours a day, picking up oysters one at a time with their hands. These oysters that live on the bottom pick up the flavor, the miroir from the bottom, the mud, and the coldness of the water down there compared to the oysters that are farmed typically on the surface in other places. It's just a superior oyster. It's got more character. Because of how they grow, they've had to survive predation that by the time they get to market size, they've survived 2 or 3 potentially winters.
An oyster here goes from spat to on your plate in 2 years. That's unbelievable that that happens, you know. Most time it takes 3, 4 years for an oyster to grow. But just there's so much abundant nutrients for these oysters to eat. They grow unbelievable. They got a nice shell on them. You open it up and you're like, wow, look at the meat in this. It's not like a little tidbit of like some places. There's a lot of meat in these oysters. Back in the late 90s, we had a giant set of oysters, and a disease came and wiped out everything. We did not have oysters here for 10, 15 years. Back then, there was no size limit law, so a lot of guys just took everything, and there was no spawners. The state really stepped up. They made it so there's a minimum size where the oysters get to replenish themselves before you take them.
We are exporting something like 80% of our wild domestically caught seafood, and it's really a shame because we have this great seafood that's not kept in America. But what the baymen of Long Island are doing is they're catching a local wild product, bringing it to distribution on Long Island, and that distribution goes into New York City, it goes to Boston, and it goes nationwide.
I love going to work every day. I get to bring the greatest product to people to eat, fresh as can be.
But this oyster has a time limit. You got to work every day like there's no tomorrow because disease could come, a big storm would come, cover them all and kill them. You have to go out in bad days. You can't see visibility, work your butt off. When it's great, it's great. When it's bad, you know, it's bad. But when you love your job, you try to plan for that and you go out to work, you work harder and try to make it.